What is conscience? It is that warning, more or less clear, that everyone has of the presence within himself of something in reference either to states or acts of the person himself or to objects of the external world. Synthetically, the feeling of feeling. But in philosophy it has gone far beyond such awareness. Stoics and Neoplatonists understood consciousness as inwardness, the soul's conversation with itself, hence the concept of the wise man, who free from worldly interests and passions, seeks truth and knowledge within himself. For St. Augustine, truth is found only by turning away from outer experience and searching within oneself through devout meditation. And for Christians, consciousness is understood as the immediate source of certain knowledge of the principles that define the rightness of will. Kant defines conscience as an inner voice. In contrast to the sensible inclinations by which we are affected, it proclaims to everyone, in the intimacy of his own soul, the absolute value of the moral law. It is accessible to all men, regardless of intellectual and cultural differences. With Descartes, conscience becomes subjective awareness of oneself and one's mental contents. English empiricism considers consciousness as a set of sensible impressions and ideas of reason, a conception later refuted by German idealism, which, with Fichte, Schelling and Kant, not only reproposes consciousness at the center of the ego, albeit empirical, but also pushes toward the non-ego and then toward the absolute ego as the original principle. For Hegel, consciousness is the human spirit until it is realized as absolute knowledge, that is, until it behaves as subjectivity as opposed to objectivity, whether natural or social. For him, consciousness, narrowly defined, is the manifestation of spirit that turns to natural externality in order to know it. Self-consciousness, on the other hand, is the awareness of one's own superiority over sensible things and pure and simple vitality. In the 20th century, consciousness is understood primarily as awareness of self or of something to which it is addressed. Consciousness is always consciousness of something. It necessarily has an object as its term of reference. Differentiated positions will later be found in logical empiricism, behaviorism and psychoanalysis, but this is not the place for a full treatment of these positions. Special mention deserves the concept of unhappy consciousness, found in Hegel's Phenomenology of Spirit. It is a state of unhappiness resulting from the fact that consciousness feels non-essential in relation to the absolute and, although it wants to deny itself in it, it fails to do so. The attempt at negation, or immersion, in the absolute is made in different ways: sentimental devotion, mysticism, worldly activity as duty to God, mortification of self, inactive asceticism, etc. Failure determines unhappiness, which will be overcome only when consciousness rediscovers the divine in the world and in itself, thereby realizing unity with the absolute. The only possibility is to accept the immediate experience that consciousness is a singular of which there is no known plural, that there is only one thing, and what appears to be a plurality is nothing but a series of different aspects of the same thing, produced by an illusion. E. Schrödinger. There is a clear line between our body and external reality only by virtue of our rational part and our ingrained beliefs, that veil of Maya that still separates us from the truth. But this line is nothing if we pay attention to the great energy exchange that takes place between the inside and the outside. We are constantly attuned to the reality around us. Our existence is part of this continuous attunement between inside and outside, between inner self and outer reality, between inwardness and openness to the world. Consciousness is non-local energy, and its field of action should not be conceived within the confines of our body but, on the contrary, in an infinitely extended way. It is energy that speaks about us and tells us about the world and how this in every moment of our existence opens doors to infinite possibilities of being. We have immense power. We are part of one great divine consciousness, of a breath of pure intelligence that animates us in all reality, of a unified field that unites all the phenomena of the universe, material and spiritual, a field of which we are an integral part and which connects us to every other being and phenomenon in the universe, from the smallest to the largest. We are part of one existential flow, of that absolute principle, of that one who is with each other. The one is found in the many, and the many are infinite facets of the one. F. Schelling. Turn on notifications and subscribe to the channel.